Tutorial game? So, everything had only been a tutorial? A figure stepped forward from behind the floating screens. Whew, finally. Oh, the figure spotted Jaehwan and grinned. Wow, we finally meet. It was a man wearing a suit, but his head was that of a lion. A small hat rested on his head. The lion-faced man spoke excitedly. I'm surprised. You made it here alone. That has never happened before. What are you talking about? Still as sharp as ever. Ready to fight, huh? No wonder you caught the attention of all the lords in the Great Lands. Who are you? Ah, I forgot to introduce myself. The lion-headed man took off his hat and bowed. I am Beastlan, a demon, the master of the Tower of Nightmares, which you just cleared, and the one in charge of World 294's tutorial game. Game. Tutorial game. Jaehwan hadn't heard wrong. Everything, the battles, the pain, the destruction of mankind, was only a tutorial. He was speechless. His mind was in chaos. One part of him told him to accept it, while another wanted to scream in anger. But soon he calmed himself. His gaze turned cold. Beastlan looked amused. Oh? You recovered quickly. Jaehwan remained expressionless. If he was weak enough to break down here, he wouldn't have survived this far. If this was only a tutorial, that means the real game is next? Oh ho, you catch on fast. Most people who finish either attack me or lose their minds. What is the real game? Exactly what you think it is. Beastlan let out a creepy laugh and snapped his fingers. The floating screens around them lit up, showing different moments from Jaehwan's past. First floor. Jaehwan stood in a crowd of people. This really is like a game. The moment he was first summoned. Seventh floor. Three people stood together. One of them spoke. I'm Yunhwan. She's Seyol. The first time he met them. 32nd floor. Jaehwan had survived the Shadow Cavern trials for a month. It was when his stab skill became truly strong. 54th floor. Standing with others, he introduced himself. I'm Jaehwan from Seoul. My class is swordsman. The moment he joined Bladewalker. 66th floor. As he fought the succubus boss, he glanced at the woman beside him, the first time he fell in love. 76th floor. Among piles of bones, Jaehwan held a lifeless body, crying in agony, the moment he lost Seoyol to the Death Knight. 77th floor. One by one, people disappeared in flashes of light, the day they found the returning stone. The day Bladewalker disbanded. 85th floor. Cheers filled the air as people celebrated clearing the floor. The day Carpe Diem was formed. 98th floor. A giant monster, Giltikas, loomed before him, the moment he lost Yunhwan and was left completely alone. 99th floor. The massive corpse of the frost dragon still lay warm at his feet. The battle had ended just moments ago. Jaehwan stared at the screens, silent. Every moment of his journey had been recorded. It was an incredible story, spanning 30 years. You were amazing. Watching you was refreshing in this world of repetition. I'm sure the lords of the Great Lands enjoyed your story too. Beastlan grinned as he spoke. The lords of the Great Lands? Jaehwan had many questions, but for now he pushed them aside. What are you trying to say? It's simple. You can start the game again from the beginning, Beastlan continued, sounding excited. And this time, you'll remember everything. It's a special reward only for the one who clears the tutorial. Isn't that amazing? It's like a story from your world, a person who restarts their life with all their memories. Doesn't it sound tempting? What do you say? Jaehwan couldn't believe it. He had expected a reward. But wasn't the reward supposed to be the salvation of mankind? What had they been fighting for? What had the tower promised them? Nothing. The tower had never once promised anything. Humans had simply believed, just like in any game, that reaching the top would grant them salvation. A goal appeared before them, and they blindly pursued it. And now, standing in front of Jaehwan, was the final reward. A reward meant only for him. So, you want me to go through everything again? Well, in a way, but there will be some changes. Jaehwan couldn't understand. He had fought to save this world, a world that had been abandoned by everyone else. That purpose had kept him human. But after finally reaching the end, All that remained was a desire to walk away from it all. So, you're sending me back in time? His voice turned cold. If you've been watching me, then you already know. I won't go back. Beastland hesitated for a moment. Then suddenly he burst into laughter. Ha 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 ha! Yes, that's right. You're not the type to turn back. If you were, you wouldn't have made it this far. Ha 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 ha! His laughter echoed through the space, loud and crazed before suddenly stopping. Then with a chilling voice he spoke. Let me tell you the truth. A harsh, undeniable truth. His tone was no longer mocking. It was deadly serious. No power inside or outside this tower, not even in the Great Lands, can send you back in time. What do you mean? There must be an item in this tower that sends you back. Then Jaehwan realized something. Beastland had just said there were no items that could send someone back in time. But he also said Jaehwan could start over from the beginning. That didn't make sense, unless there was another explanation. And there was. The 66th floor. Back then, Jaehwan and his team had fought a succubus, a weaker version of a nightmare. It had taken them a long time to defeat it. The monster's power trapped weak-minded walkers in an illusion, making them lose themselves in pleasure. The entire floor had turned into chaos, an endless, twisted dream where walkers abandoned reason. Some even hurt each other. Jaehwan knew how dangerous it was. He had almost lost himself too. Then he muttered the name of an item. Stone of Nightmare. Beastland's eyes narrowed. How do you know about that? That's information you shouldn't have. Jaehwan answered without hesitation. The Frost Dragon told me. Beastland's face twitched. Oh? That's a problem. You weren't supposed to learn that yet, he mumbled to himself. Ugh, this is why AI systems need better programming. Those stupid creators, making too many of those monsters without thinking. Jaehwan ignored his rambling. So, those who used the returning stone, they never actually went back in time. Beastland turned to him and paused. Then with a slight smirk, he admitted it. Yeah, you're right. With a snap of his fingers, the screens changed again. The item you found on the 77th floor wasn't a returning stone. It was a Stone of Nightmare, a special item that traps people inside a dream created by the nightmare itself. On the screens, Jaehwan saw countless walkers, Huang, Inchan, the science teacher, Sakamoto. They were all there, living in a never-ending dream world. Beastland looked at the images with amusement. I didn't lie, though. In a way, you could say they really did go back in time. Jaehwan fell silent. What Beastland said wasn't wrong. Those people chose to escape. They abandoned the present. They left others behind for their own fantasies. To them, this was the future they wanted. Beastland continued, shaking his head. World 294 really is something. Most races struggle early on, but you guys made it all the way to the 77th floor without much trouble. Almost too easily. Like, you'd been playing this kind of game for a long time. Jaehwan agreed. Until they reached the 77th floor, humans had fought hard. But the results were unexpected. The screens showed people using the returning stone, all at once. You humans, you're probably the only race that actually wants to go back in time. Jaehwan watched as countless people disappeared in flashes of light. He muttered under his breath, Yeah, maybe we are. Beastland chuckled. Well, you've heard enough. Now let's get to the... But Jaehwan interrupted him. You want me to start the game from the beginning? Haha, you catch on fast. Without actually sending me back in time. Right, it works by... Jaehwan suddenly smiled. Yeah, thanks to you, I finally understand what this tower really is. Beastland tilted his head. Huh? Jaehwan had always been curious. The giant tower that appeared out of nowhere. The strange message that had summoned him here. Congratulations! You are chosen as a time walker to save the world from the will of the Tower of Nightmares. Do you accept the summon? Yes, no. He had chosen yes. That's why he was here. Jaehwan stepped forward and placed a hand against the cold stone wall. He had spent more time in this tower than on Earth. But all this time, he had never realized the truth. This entire tower was an item. Closing his eyes, he focused. He thought about everything. The tower's structure, its floors, the battles, the pain, the people. Then something snapped in his mind. A new window appeared. Item details. Name Tower of Nightmares. Tutorial mode. Description, the second creation of Nightmare. Mulek, the creator of the Fortress of Remorse, traps those who accept its summons inside its dream world. Jaehwan opened his eyes and spoke. This tower is a giant stone of nightmare. Silence. Beaslin lowered his head, shoulders shaking. Then he burst into laughter. Ha 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 ha. But this time his laughter wasn't playful. There was rage behind it. This, this is incredible. You keep surprising me. With another snap of his fingers, the screens changed again. Jaehwan's eyes widened. The outside world. It was fine. The city, the streets, the people. Everything was still there. Nothing had been destroyed. No one had died. As you can see, Beaslin said with a grin, no one in your world is dead yet. Wouldn't it be bad if all of you died before the real game even started? The screens showed walkers, not dead, but hospitalized. Governments had stepped in to care for them. Among the unconscious bodies, Jaehwan saw himself. His face was the same. Even after decades in the tower, his body on Earth had only aged 1 month. You've spent years here, Beaslin said, but in reality, barely any time has passed. Jaehwan clenched his fists. So this really was a dream. That explains the time difference. But was this all real? Could he trust these images? Beaslin had already lied to him before. Before he could question it further, all the screens shut off. Well, we've wasted enough time. Beaslin clapped his hands. Anyway, now you know the truth. So, what do you say? A new message appeared. The Game Master is trying to terminate the tutorial game. You can return to World 294 and join the real game with all of your memories intact. Do you accept the offer? Yes, no. Jaehwan looked at the screen. Then he made his choice. You have refused the offer. Jaehwan frowned. There's no way to go back in time? Beaslin looked surprised. What? Oh, you must think just a memory isn't enough of a reward. He suddenly laughed and slapped his forehead. Good. You've got the right mindset. So what do you want? A hidden item? A secret skill? Or information about rare classes? But Jaehwan said something completely unexpected. I don't want anything. Beaslin's smile faded. Then why? For the first time, he seemed uneasy. I'm going to kill you and move to the next floor.